Hi, my name is Andy Clemens and I am the librarian in the David C. Barrow Elementary Media Center in Athens, Georgia. And I'm going to share with you some ways that we get students involved in participating in the Media Center through a variety of activities. The first thing that we do is getting students involved in writing reviews for the books. And we started a new program this year called Star Review. And with this program, students read a book and they fill out one of these sheets that says Star Review. And they actually take a sticker and stick it inside the front of the book that's a star, and we display those in the front of the Media Center. And at the bottom of the sheet, students indicate whether they want to share their review on our morning broadcast, or if they want to record just their voice to do more of a podcast type of review, or if they just want to type it to post that review in our Media Center catalog or onto our Media Center blogs. We've also gotten students involved in writing book reviews with their classes in supporting response to literature writing in the curriculum. Every grade level works on response to literature writing, and we've tried to connect that with Web 2.0 tools and blogs, and most recently I've been working with a second grade group that has been reading graphic novels, and they're writing their own graphic novels, but they spent a long time studying different graphic novels that have been published and reading them and learning how to write a book review, and then typing that review and posting it onto a student blog that's Barrow Books at Edublogs. And the students have been really excited to see their pictures of them holding their books along with their blog posts posted there. And we've cross-referenced that onto our Media Center blog so that these students' reviews really get an authentic audience, that they aren't just writing their book reviews just for their classroom teacher, but they're putting their work out there for the world to see. Another way that we have gotten students involved in the Media Center is through participating in the Media Center budget. And I've done a couple of projects over the past 2 years. Last year we did something called Student Voice, Student Choice, and this project targeted some students in 3rd through 5th grade who were reading below grade level. And what I noticed was that these students were coming to the library, they were wandering around, and they were leaving the library with nothing because they couldn't find a book that they were interested in and a book that was something that they could read. So I wrote a grant and also put some book fair profits with that and created some budgets for these students to work with. And they got to choose books for the Media Center that were books that they wanted to read and were books that they could read. And so we worked closely with Capstone Press, and our sales rep is Jim Boone, and he came in with catalogs and books and let the students look through the catalogs, looked at books, they were able to ask him questions, and then they took their budget and were able to purchase about 2 or 3 books per student. And then once those books came in, they were the first ones to read them. They wrote reviews for those books. They posted it in our Destiny catalog, and really promoted those books to the rest of the school. And those books have become some of the most circulated books in our Media Center because they were books that students were definitely interested in. This year I took a different approach and worked with 12 students that we called ourselves the Leader Librarians, and I did write another grant and put some more book fair profits with that, so that we had about a $2,000 budget. And these students were more free in their choices than the previous year, where we were targeting a specific kind of book, the high interest, low level books. These students decided that they wanted to survey the whole school from pre-K through 5th grade and find out some things that kids were interested in reading about. They looked at all of the information that they collected and tried to find some patterns and themes in what people had responded to on the survey. And then they made categories, and some of the categories were sports and comics and superheroes and scary books and mysteries. Those were a few of the categories that they came up with. And they got in partners, and each partner group took one or two of those topics, and we split our $2,000 budget equally across all of the topics. And then we had to decide, well, who do we want to order our books from? So they decided that they did want to meet with Capstone Press again, but this time we added another vendor, Children's Plus, and Frida Julian, who is our sales rep, came in and brought just tubs and tubs full of books and spread them out on the Media Center tables. And so students had really 2 days of looking at different kinds of books and catalogs and making a wish list. And then they had to really start narrowing down that list, because they had selected thousands and thousands of dollars worth of books, and they had to narrow that down to only be able to spend their $2,000 budget. And in the end, they ended up selecting 108 new books for our library. And when those books came in, the students unpacked the boxes. They highlighted the packing slip to see that all the books were there. They checked the books for damage. They stamped them with their Media Center stamp. They displayed the books and took pictures of them. And they also created an Animoto video of the whole process of this project and presented that to the school at a parent night, where the parents in the community came out and saw the different projects that students were working on around the school. The day that these books went into circulation, by the end of the day, there were only about 24 books left out of the 108, and then after that, the rest of the books were checked out as well. And these books are already proving themselves to be very popular books that are chosen by the students. So they're able to meet a need in the collection that I couldn't really meet myself as the media specialist. I could guess at what students were interested in, but when the students are actually involved in choosing them, it makes a big impact on what students get. The last thing I want to share is that in the spring we do something called Poem in Your Pocket Day, and we really do a whole study of poetry leading up to this day. And this year we're going to add a new piece where we're going to have a original poetry contest, and students in every grade are going to be asked to write their own poems, and I'm going to have a selection committee made up of teachers and students to select the winners of these poems, and they'll receive an autographed copy of a book that I've collected over the summer. And it's all leading up to this day called Poem in Your Pocket Day, where everybody in the school carries poems in their pocket, and they stop each other during the day and read their poems to each other. They wear stickers that say that they have a poem in their pocket. But we also transform our Media Center into a poetry cafe. We turn down the lights. We have a little open mic area at the front of the Media Center with lights and fabrics, and we set the tables up with tablecloths and candles and crayons and poetry books, and really let it be a day to celebrate poetry. And students, all the classes sign up, and students come up one at a time or in pairs or in groups, and they read poems that they've written and poems that they've found in books at our open mic. And really every student has an opportunity to share something at the microphone, and it's a day that the kids look forward to, and a day that I look forward to every year as well. So those are just a few of the ways that we get students involved in our library, and we're always looking for other ways as well, because students are one of our most important customers in the Media Center, and we want to make sure that we have an atmosphere where they feel like they're a part of what we do. Thank you.